Hi, my name is Cameron Carlson with AnimeLocation.tv. I'm here at Ohayocon 2017 with Miss Diana Garnet. How you doing?
Great, I'm doing great. I'm Diana. How are you?
I'm okay. So how did you get started in the world of music?
So basically, I had always loved Japanese music, and I had really wanted to sort of give back to an industry that gave me so much when I was growing up. And so I just threw myself at the wall until somebody was like, okay, I guess you can sing. Yeah. But sort of like a more in-depth would be that I went to Japan as a teacher initially so that I could work in Japan and work on my music simultaneously, and I did as much TV and freelance work as I could, and eventually Senpai noticed me and I got a job with Sony Music Japan.
Awesome. So again, you had mentioned that you've been an English teacher in Japan. What was it like, and how did that happen? Like, I mean, we talked to a lot of people that work in Japan. We have a friend named Jan Scott Fraser who you would mention about Star Blazers. She worked on Star Blazers back in the day as an editor and stuff like that under that director that you had mentioned in your panel. Like, that actually gave her the job personally. Yeah. So what was it like, working over there? Because we talked to Lisa Wilkinson. I don't know if you've met her. Oh, Miss Lisa Wilkinson is in Tekken in Dead or Alive, doing kickfighting and kickboxing and stuff, and doing voice acting. And she speaks Japanese fluently because she lived there for 35 years before she came back to America. Yeah. So what was it like living over there, learning how to do English?
It was learning how to do English.
Teaching us.
I was like, I kind of knew that one. You can do English. So when I was first starting out in Japan, as I said, I was teaching. It was really fun for me because I was sort of learning the ropes while also being able to sort of touch the new generation. I was an ALT as well as an English conversation teacher, so I worked with both kids and adults, and it was really fun to see sort of like different perspectives and have people with different dreams. I loved hearing what the kids wanted to do when they grew up, and I would be like, hey, what do you want to do? And they'd be like, I want to be a singer, and I'd be like, me too! Like, oh man, we can be friends now. And so it was really great, and these days a lot of kids are really into anime. It's becoming more mainstream in Japan. It's less otaku-ish, and so like a lot of kids like Vocaloid, and they like all sorts of stuff, and it was really fun talking about like our favorite Vocaloid songs or like our favorite anime songs together, and like what characters we like, and we like the same characters, and it makes me feel like a bad adult for like, cute 14-year-old boys, but whatever, they're cute, like kitties. So yeah, so it was a great experience, and I really recommend it. If you search online, there's a lot of different tools that can help you get started, and if you've got the chance, I would say go for it. It'll grow you.
I'm more than welcome to learn at the same time. So now it says in your bio that you're from DC. What was it like to live in Washington and then have to then move to Japan? I mean, I visited DC about 6-7 times, so I'm pretty familiar with the city. Obviously, the national park system, I'm a big fan of it, so I go to all the museums when I go there. So yeah, so what's it like living in DC and then all of a sudden have that culture shock of moving to Japan and learning everything new?
For me, the most surprising thing though, because I'm from DC, I'm used to the Smithsonian's and the zoo, everything being free, right? Like, that's just like a given. Like, that all museums are free all the time. I get my free education. Yeah, America. So like, and I didn't know that wasn't a thing for the rest of America because I lived in like a little DC bubble of magical education. And so when I went to Japan and they like charged me admission for like, I was personally offended. Like, I was like, I don't get free Raphael. I don't get free King Tut. But I paid because I wanted to see King Tut. So I was like, that is brilliant marketing. Wow, what a strategy. But jokes aside, I really enjoyed the transition. Like, DC is a pretty international community. There's a lot of like great Ethiopian food. There's a lot of great Indian food and Lebanese food and Greek food, and Japan also has like a great variety of different foods. Like, I would say the best Indian and Italian is in Japan. Yep. Yeah, it's so yummy. And of course, Japanese food is like the best food. Sorry, like objectively speaking, the best food. So for me, it was actually a pretty smooth transition. It fit my lifestyle really well. Like, I don't drive, so having a magical public transportation's great. And DC's also got fairly decent public transportation, so like it wasn't too difficult of a transition. But of course you're going to learn new things moving to a new culture and a new community, and I really enjoyed that process. I love even now to go to supermarkets and see just like what's around. And going to different areas of Japan is also wildly different. Like, everything is sort of localized, and like in Japan, like, Walmart is Walmart, but in America Walmart is Walmart. But in Japan, like the convenience stores even have like completely different goods. If you're in Hokkaido versus like Fukuoka, like they will like heat up your onigiri in Hokkaido. Like, they're like, "Atatame and I was like, huh? Like, you're gonna heat up my onigiri? But in Fukuoka, they're like, oh yeah, you can have this like like gizzard nabe, and I'm like, okay, I like gizzards, sure. So it's real fun.
It sounds interesting, the whole differences of every area. So you're one of the very rare cases of Japanese music industry being an American signed to a Japanese record label. How unique is that? Because I know one other very unique person was the artist She, S-H-E. They're a techno producer, and they're Swedish Japanese, and they live in Sweden, and they're signed to Ponycon Records. So that's like a weird thing about that, is like, I know that's another weird thing too. So what's it like being signed to a Japanese record, knowing that you're only like one of a few foreigners to ever be signed to a Japanese record label?
I think at the moment there's I think only 3 of us signed to a major label. Like there's a ton of indies and stuff like that, but it is quite a challenge because of like, you know, the visa situation and stuff like that. There's a lot of new sets of challenges that I don't think Japanese artists face, and also being a foreigner, there's got to be a reason to hire us over a Japanese artist. So we have to be the best at our jobs, and we have to bring something to the table that no one else can bring. We have to have a special sort of perspective, and we have to sort of be flawless, and that's a little bit of a tall order. But what I find really enriching about it is that it constantly makes me think and challenge myself, and like, what can I do for Japan? Like, of course, like I like singing and stuff like that, but it's not about me. It's about the listeners. It's about what they get out of it. It's about what I can communicate to them, and not just Japanese listeners, but foreign listeners as well. It's really important to be able to inspire, to bring something to the table that only I can bring, and I think that's what makes like the best career. Like, I'm not just a singer. What I am is hopefully from here on I'll be able to inspire and motivate and not just foreigners that want to work in the Japanese industry, but maybe Japanese people that want to go to Hollywood. We really need more representation. Yeah. And so I would really like to maybe sort of be a catalyst for them to build their futures on.
Like an ambassador.
Yeah, I'm an ambassador. Yeah.
So your song "Spinning World" is the ending theme song for Naruto Shippuden. What's it like to have a song on Japanese television and be heard all around the world?
It is mind-blowing. Like, the first time I saw the ending animation with my song was when it aired on, I think it was like January 11th or something like that. Like I was recent, yeah. It was like 2015, yeah. And so I waited with bated breath. It's like on at like Thursday at 7 p.m. And so I was like sitting there, and I was like, ugh, and it came on, and I just rolled off the bed in like just absolute ecstasy. I was so happy. And of course I've been a fan of Naruto since I was 12 years old when it first started airing, and it was absolutely just like unbelievable to like when my managers told me that I managed to snag the Naruto ending theme. I cried. Like, my manager knew. He had a hidden video camera and a box of tissues, and I was like, what's with the camera and the tissues? And he's like, you need to sit down. I'm like, oh my god, am I getting fired? Oh my god, did my song not go over well? And they were like, sit, and I was like, I would rather stand, but okay. So I sat, and he's all like, you got Naruto. And I was like, oh god! I was like freaking out. And it's amazing to be part of something that gave you so much sort of motivation when I was a kid. Because Naruto, like, he was a terrible ninja when he started out. Yeah. And then he kept throwing himself at that challenge. He kept, He said he won't be the Hokage. He did it. And I was that kind of dumb kid. Like, when I was 7, I'm like, I will be a singer in Japan. And my dad's like, sure, go for it. That's great. But like, I don't think anybody, including myself, really like expected that it would happen. And like, I worked really hard, and I put in the time, and I put in the effort, and I crafted plans to get to Japan, but it still was absolutely unbelievable to me. So I'm really happy.
It's wonderful. So you happen to work with the ETV. What was it like working with them?
So I did an anime theme song for NHK's e-tele program, which was called Tantei Team Kazuchiken no, which I think is localized to Detective Team Kaz. Case Files, and it's on Crunchyroll, so you can stream it on Crunchyroll. It's like a 9-minute educational sort of short that went along with a kids variety educational program called Tensai Terebi-kun, and it ran at the end of that. So like they would teach you stuff, and then there would be like a little 9-minute detective series, and I did the main theme for that. There's only one song, and I did the main theme for that, and it was absolutely amazing because like I adore children. I was a teacher, and it was really fun to be able to do something that I knew that a lot of kids watched and enjoyed, and the main character was a girl and she was being a detective, and that's so rare.
Yeah.
And there's of course like really cute little boys that she worked with too, so she had like her pick of the harem, and I was like, nice. And so I ended up getting to meet a lot of the younger fans, and they were always like, I want to be a detective too, and I'm like, you go, okay, that's awesome, please do that. And so it was great being able to see kids like have like new set of dreams, and that I could be a part of that. And
it sounds wonderful. I mean, like that, because I mean, like I always love the detective series that come out of Japan too, so it's really fun. So it says in your bio that your dad is the one that really got you into anime. What was it like watching shows with him, and what show's your favorite to watch with him?
So my dad is one of like the original American anime fans. He grew up watching like Star Blazers, which was Uchu Senkai Yamato, and things like Ginga Tetsudo Galaxy Express 39 and stuff like that. So he really likes Matsumoto Reiji-san. And so for me, I grew up, of course, watching. I think he started me at like 4 years old on that. He was like, "This is important. You need to watch this. Like this and Star Wars." And I'm like, I couldn't even tell them apart when I was little. I was like, space. And because of that, I've got kind of a strong space opera love. My dad also really likes shoujo. And so he likes the whole magical girl thing, and being a tiny little 7-year-old girl, I was all for that. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be a magical girl and fight bad guys too. And so, we watched, of course, Sailor Moon together. He really liked Magic Knight's Birth, and so did I. My whole family got into that one, my older sister as well. And he would also watch things like Hime-chan no Ribbon and Akazuki Cha-cha, and it was a whole, this is back in the VHS days. Oh My Goddess was a big one for us. Oh, that was a huge one. Like anything Fujishima Kosuke did was a huge one. So You're Under Arrest. He also really likes Takashi Rumiko, so we would watch like Ranma. I would say my favorite one to watch with my dad though, Oh My Goddess, because he gets so excited about Belle Dandy. He's like, isn't she so beautiful? And I'm like, she is. Oh my God, look at that hair, it's so shiny. And I like Sculpt, so yeah, because she beats monsters.
Alrighty, now, what are some of your favorite anime, perhaps Magical Knight Rayearth? We've interviewed several of the people in that show, and we've interviewed several people from all over that industry, so, the good old Amokina's Amokina type style.
Yep, Clamp is, honestly, anything Clamp does I really like, so Magic Knights Rayearth, of course, X-Holic, Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicle, all of that, I love how it's such a world that they have built there. That's amazing. They have their own thing, their Tokyo is not Tokyo, you see it in Tokyo Babylon and Clamp Campus Detectives and Dukleon and stuff like that. It's not Tokyo, but it's not Tokyo, and I like that. And they've started doing that with Kyoto as well, with 7th Gate and stuff like that. So I'm like, all right. So anything Clamp writes, I'm a huge fan of. Of course, Magic Knights Rayearth was one of the biggest influences in my career. After hearing Tamara Naomi, that's when I decided I wanted to do that kind of music, because it was her song Yuzure Nai Nagai that was the song that gave me hope. She was a squeaky chipmunk and I'm a squeaky chipmunk. We can both be squeaky chipmunks and sing. Because I have that sort of higher range, and I hadn't heard another really powerful high-ranged singer that was nasally like me. So that's nice. And then my favorite anime right now, I would say Natsume Yujincho. I really like Sangatsu no Lion. It's about shogi. I also really enjoy Haikyuu because volleyball. Okiku Furikabute is a favorite of mine. And then as a sort of curveball, Last Exile.
Okay, so that's funny you bring that up because we've interviewed Johnny Ambosh, who is the lead in Last Exile. Yep, it's Klaus, and I just happened today to pick up the second season for $40 at the Funimation table on Blu-ray for $40. It's like 160 if I bought it individually. So I was like, I need to finish watching Last Exile now. Oh, and I love Crispin Freeman. Oh, that man, I know. Also, one of my favorite series of Clamp is not really Clamp, it's Code Geass, because they did all the artwork for it. Yeah. So that's one of my favorites. So what are some of the upcoming projects you want your fans to know about at this time that you're allowed to talk about? Because we know about the pesky NDA. So what do you want fans to check out that they potentially could watch right now? Okay,
so I have lots that I'm not allowed to talk about yet, but what I am allowed to talk about is I'm going to be doing my first anime voice acting role for the dub of Gunvolt.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
I know, I've never done one before. I'm so excited.
Since we already speak Japanese, this will be really easy.
Well, I actually, and the whole thing was cast and taken in Japan, which is pretty rare for a dub. But it's an amazing cast, and the Japanese cast is also amazing. But watch the dub. And I'll be doing the main female lead, and so there's two of them, and so her and her alternate personality. So I'm really excited about that. That should be coming out either in January or February, or whenever they manage to get that on the Nintendo DS store for download.
Yeah. It's gonna be on the Nintendo. That's interesting.
And then we're hoping to get it on Netflix and Hulu, but we're not quite sure. There's a lot of licensing in there, but
stuff,
Gunvolt is it's a game you can get it on Steam. It's a DS game, So yeah, I highly recommend it. It's like a 90s throwback, and I really like that. So that's one. It's my first anime, yay, voice acting. And then I would also like to mention that I'm in the middle of producing a game right now. I did all the original concept and designs for it. With the Tokyo Olympics coming up, I wanted to be able to sort of introduce different areas of Japan in an easily digestible format, because I don't want my trains clogged. And so everybody's going to go to like Tokyo, Kyoto, and Osaka, but they might not know what to do there, and they don't go anywhere else. And I want people to enjoy all of Japan, so I want them to go to like Hakodate, I want them to Akita, Sendai, Fukuoka, like all of these amazing places and with amazing food. So what I decided to do, right? That's the important part. Yeah. So what I decided to do was sort of personify the different Japanese cities in the form of a good-looking guy. And so all of their favorite foods are the famous foods of the area. Yeah. All of their favorite activities are the famous things you can do in the area, so you'll be able to learn about what you can do in the different cities via Hot Guy. And so we're just about to release the alpha, which is the Tokyo-only version. Yeah. And that'll be our promotion for the Kickstarter. This is a non-Sony project, so it'll be crowdfunded, and that'll be the promotion for the Kickstarter.
So is there any way for fans to keep up with you online, and a final message you want to get to all your wonderful fans that are watching right now?
The best way to keep up with me is probably on Facebook. I generally post bilingually. I'm doing like acapellas and stuff, and so it'll be heavily saturated with videos, but I'll post everything there. There's also Twitter, which I do bilingually. My blog is Japanese only. It's on Amebro, but lots of information is on there as well, and I've got a lot of big upcoming projects that I cannot wait to talk about. We're gonna finally let you know in I think February about the really big one, and so I'm excited for that. And thank you so much, everybody watching, and I hope that you enjoy, your various like anime, and I hope that you also happen to enjoy the interview, and I hope to meet you all guys like soon. I would love to keep coming to more and more conventions and keep meeting new people. The best thing about Ohayocon in particular is that there's so many different genres of people here, and it's such a close-knit family. I really highly recommend this convention, as well as my hometown convention of Otakon and my college convention of Sakurakon. So I really like them all, and I hope to meet you all in person someday. Please come and talk to me if you see me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.